Hey, Shalom. All praises to Yahweh Bahashem Yahushai. Double honors to the elders of Great Millstone who rule well. Peace and salutations to the elect. And all the brothers pushing us working sincerely in the truth. This is brother Tamayan from GMS Toronto coming at you with another video. So this is part two to the movie that I just watched, The Green Book, right? Which is this movie. I just took some pictures and screenshotted it. Right, this movie right here, The Green Book, right, with Viggo Mortensen and Mahershala Ali, right? This is Jake from somewhere in Africa, but they boosted him up a couple of years ago. Now he's making all manner of disgusting movies, and he's really showing you who he worships and who he venerates, which is the god of the underworld, right? Right. In this case, he goes into Orpheus, right? But we know the god of the underworld. At the end of the day, it's gonna be the spiritual demon Satan. Okay, that's the end all be all to the left hand side. Okay, but anyways, bear with me. It's a brand new phone. I'll just go right back to it. Sounds 100. It's okay. This movie, I just made a part. I just made a part two to the review of that movie because I got into the intro and it was already long, breaking down who Orpheus is. Right, that could have easily taken 2 minutes, but I wanted to get more into the Maynards and and the muses, just touch on a little bit. But to be quite frank, at the end of the day, us Israelites, we're not supposed to be into anything other than Yahweh B'Hashem Yahushai, right? Every captivity that we go to is because of these things, okay? You have musicians who want to be top men of this world. They want to be giants, which they are giants because, there's nothing new under the sun. What we're seeing now are things that had already been done in the past, right? That's why the Lord instruct his men and his people to do what? To serve him over serving these damn other idols, man. So this is Psalms 100 and it says, make a joyful noise unto the Lord, all ye lands, right? Serve the Lord with gladness. Come before his presence with singing, right? We don't have to go in front of these other gods, these other contemporary gods, right? Showing them veneration, right? And how do we make a joyful noise unto the Lord? How do we sing? By what I'm doing right now, by what we do at camp. Those are the songs, right? Us piping to the Lord, man, right? All those stories of mythology, those are all symbols also, right? They go with stories, but our story goes with symbols also. These singing that we're doing right now, it's not necessarily mean songs. Yes, we do have songs, and I'm reading from one of them, right? But this is how we serve the Lord, right? We sing to him, right? That new song that's mentioned in Revelation, right? It's not necessarily a new song, right? That's us piping to the Lord, okay? It says here, serve the Lord with gladness, come before his presence with singing, right? Know ye that the Lord, he is power, he is God, all power, right? It is he that hath made us and not ourselves, right? These other men of our nation, well, we're not even going to go into these heathens because we're not dealing with them, right? We're talking to the men of the Lord that the Lord made to serve him, but they're serving other gods, right? You have your musicians, you have your industry people, your actors, you have your football players, your basketball players, your Freemasons, right? You have your gangbangers. These are all men that were made to serve the Lord, but they diverted from the way, right? And that's why we're out here, right, rebuking them and telling them what they're doing is wrong, right? That's how we sing unto the Lord, right? When we call upon his name, when we tell our people where they're going off, that's a song, The gospel, the good news. Okay? We are his people and the sheep of his pasture. Right? Enter in his gates with thanksgiving and into his courts with praise. Be thankful unto him and bless his name. And that's what we start with, right? His name. And his name is not Jesus, his name is not God. Okay? For the Lord is good, his mercy is everlasting, and his truth endureth to all generations. You Israelites, man. So this doesn't stop. Just because this generation you feel that you can murder your own brother, right? That's giving veneration to another God. Okay, these gangbangers, they speak with another language. They speak with their hands, right? They give praises to another King David in Chicago, right? They give praises to Tookie, these other men, Stanley Tookie, right? The Crips, right? You have Larry Hoover, right? All these men are gods in these guys' eyes. They're idols, right? But our power is Yahweh Bashem El Shai, right? Other men in the industry, their gods, their god is Orpheus. Other gods are Zeus, Hades, all these other gods that you hear them mentioning. They really believe in these gods. Other gods are Lucifer. At the end of the day, there are men, high elite men that calls upon Lucifer or Satan or Shaitan, whatever the case may be. Okay, let's go to Jeremiah 2, Jeremiah 10 and 2. All right, so like, yeah. Jeremiah 10. This is a direct order from the Lord through the prophet Jeremiah, telling the Israelites when they go into Babylon not to do what they see the heathens do. And what do our people do? They still do the same thing that Jeremiah commanded them not to do. Jeremiah 10 and 2. Thus saith the Lord. Let's start at 1. Hear ye the Lord, hear ye the word of the Lord. Speak it unto you, O house of Israel. Okay, so we're not just talking about any old people here. Okay, we're talking about you Israelites, right? Thus saith the Lord, learn not the way of the heathen, and worshiping Orpheus is the way of the heathen. Okay, that goes back to Greek mythology, and we know the Greek got that from the Egyptians, right? And the Egyptians got it from the Babylonians, and the Babylonians got that from the Sumerians, and the Sumerians got it from the Hamites, and the Hamites got it from Cush, and Cush got it from Ham, and Ham brought it from the flood, right? From before the flood. And you know how it goes. It goes on and on and on. So these gods are not new. Okay, just different names. And you Israelites have always served these other gods. That's the reason why the Lord brought the flood. Because when you go back to the story of Adam and the Adamites and the Setites, this is your story. Okay? So if you people don't know what the story happening before the flood, you're seeing it right now, and you don't believe when we tell you this is what happened. So too bad. The Lord has blinded you. And be not dismayed at the signs of heaven, for the heathen are dismayed at them. For the customs of the people are vain. From one cutteth the tree out of the forest, the work of the hands of the workmen with the axe. Okay, they deck it with silver, with gold, and they fasten it with nails and with hammers, that it move not. They are upright as a palm tree, but speak not. They must need be born, because they cannot go. Be not afraid of them, for they cannot do evil, neither also it is in them to do good. Right? So that's going into your Christmas. Okay? And obviously, this is not Christmas in the. It's not going to be mentioned here as Christmas, but in Babylonia, they had this celebration also, which is a rod of Nimrod. Okay, the phallus of Nimrod. Right. When you go into the history of that, his body was chopped up into pieces, and his rod was left. And I think his mother, Ramesses, from what I remember, right, she went on an expedition to find his body, and I think she only found the rod, and she got pregnant by that. It's ridiculous, but This is what these people don't understand what they're worshiping, man. They worship they don't know what they're worshiping, right? But it's all good. It's all good because guess what? That comes with a penalty, right? And the penalty is death. That's all it is. The penalty is death when you worship these other gods. Being an Israelite man, woman, or child. Doesn't matter if you're ignorant to knowing what you're doing is wrong. This is the information age. You have the prophets out here telling you what you're doing is wrong. Certain situation you're not supposed to be in, like worshiping other gods. That's the main reason why we got over here in the slave ships, right? That's the main reason. That's the same way we got kicked out of the garden the first time. That's the main reason. Okay, so the Orpheus situation that was in the green book. Okay, that that's just one of the reasons why you Negroes can't get out of whatever predicament that you're in, right? And another thing that he mentioned, it doesn't matter. He was like, oh, he broke down and started crying in the movie because the so-called the Italian guy, right? He called him out on not being black enough. So he's like, listen, man, when I go on the so-called black people, I'm too bougie. When I go on the white people, they call me the N-word. So I can't win, right? And he started crying. So in the end, he ended up going to a Negro bar where he ended up playing the piano that was there. You know, he had fun or whatever the case may be, right? And he was also a Mo, right? Which that goes in direct violation of the Lord's laws, right? No man shall lie with another man. And they found him, and when he went to the dirty South, right? They found him, they beat him up, and they had him handcuff him and the white boy, right? They were having sex or whatever the case may be, and that's not just that situation don't just come out of nowhere because he went to the Ivy League schools, right? He played the pianos, so he went through the rituals, okay? Because a lot of these Edomites were undercover Moors back in the 50s and 60s, right? He was also a follower of Orpheus. So who knows what else he got into? He was hanging out with the high elites, right? The Kennedys, right? So you already know he was protected, and he pretty much he was open to all these other experiences. That's what a musician is. The scripture tell you not to trust a woman that's a musician, right? Never trust a woman that's a musician. Sirach, right? And I brought that out just to make a point, right? Sirach 9:4, because it's not just a woman; it's also a man, right? Most of the time, women are singers, but for the majority of the part, when men are, they pretty much they have the same trait. They want attention. Oh yeah, they want attention, right? They want Catholic Bible. What was going on here? I just clicked on this and it's not giving it to me. They want the same thing that the women want, right? And the scripture say to watch out for them, man. It's not giving it to me. It's a devil right there. Let's see what the Let me just get right to the point. Sirach 9. Sirach 9:4. I don't want to drag this on, so I'm just to bring out one more scripture and then get out of here. Ecclesiasticus 9:4. Wow. Let me see what else is here. All right. It says here, use not much the company of a woman that is a singer. It's also this can also go into a man, okay? Least thou be taken with her attempts, right? And you can also use this as a man, right? Because these people are famous, right? They all go after the fame, and they're all involved into a lot of things, right? You never know what they'll be able to do in order to get the whatever they have, the fame. They can sell their souls, right? In this case, we have guys like Muddy Waters and all those men of the past who sold their soul. Robert, what's his name? Robert Johnson. Yeah, Robert Johnson, who went to the crossroads allegedly, right? And if you're given to their attempts, they'll corrupt you, man, right? There's nothing that they won't stop at to get what they want, right? So they can come into the form of a handsome man. They can come into the form of a beautiful woman. So the scriptures say, look not on their beauty, man. Don't look on the outside, all right? Because inside is full of dead man's bones. That's the shalom.